There we go. I had to kick in, restart it really quick, but because it had the yellow live stream. But hey, it looks like they have identified the person that we were looking at on surveillance last night. All right. And his name is, I think it's Louis, so Louis D. Coleman III, or Jr., however you want to say it. And there he is right there. Looks a lot like the surveillance. Alright, so the thing is, oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Horton James. M78.
We love you, Gray.
Well, thank you. I love you guys too. That's yeah, so what we're looking at here on the screen, I think, is a driver's license picture. So, of course, a person could have their hair grow a little bit longer, and this beard would be a little bit longer too, right? So when we look at, here's the picture that we took off the surveillance, and you can see he's got the same hair line and everything, but the hair is a lot, I don't know if you can see that very good. Let me see if I can. Make that bigger for you guys. Okay, maybe about like that. And then you start losing clarity at some point. You can see he's got a similar hairline, the thick eyebrows. You definitely see that in the picture of him. Right there. See that? The thick eyebrows. Now you got that hairline. See how it goes back up into there? Receding, you know, like there's an angle where there's no hair back in there, and you can definitely see that on the surveillance footage. See how it goes back up into there like that? Well, that's what we see here on the right back there. It goes back, and high hairline, eyebrows, and this beard's just longer now, and the hair he's let grown out too. So he doesn't look exactly like the surveillance footage here, but I think they have identified him. People probably said, oh, I know who that is. But here's the thing, is they can't find the guy, right? So here's what I'm going to say right now. I'm going to say that the friends, at this point, that the two friends are just irresponsible friends and had nothing to do with this. That's what my instinct is at this point. Now, it might be wrong, of course. I'm just saying I think that they just are crappy friends. Somehow they lost track of each other. The part about Penelope having the shoes and everything, that's still a little bit weird to me. But I don't know how this guy would have a connection. He's from Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island. And I think I actually found where he lives. And as I said last night, he looks like he's kind of a higher class individual, right? With the jacket he had on, looked well dressed. And so when I think I found his address, and he lives in Rhode Island, and I think this is him right here, Louis, Louis D. Coleman Jr. Okay, he's a third, but he could also be, a junior as well. And there's only one that I could find in Rhode Island, and it's in the same city that the police say he's from, Providence, Rhode Island. And when you go to Google Earth, it looks like this. Let me move it over the screen. So right there, at the time this Google Earth shot was made, this was just being completed construction. Okay, what we could do is look at the time frame one. Okay, so this is February. Oh, look at that. They don't even have the building. Let me get rid of the 3D building part, just so we can see the ground. All right, so it was there in 2016. Okay, so that building might have been there for a while. Let's see, 2013. Yeah, it's the construction around it is what has changed quite a bit. So this is February 2018. Right, now if you go to Street View down here, it's interesting because this Street View, look at all the stuff going on. All this, you know, looks like there is construction going on. But when you move this direction and you go down one street, now we're almost the current time. And see, right here, you can see that they're trying to lease some of the rooms in the building. And he lives on the 6th floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up here, this is what I'm coming up with. This could be inaccurate, okay, but it's the only one I could find. I mean, what are the odds of there being another Louis D. Coleman Jr. in Providence, Rhode Island? Okay, that's not a very good chance. All right, so I think I did actually have I looked at it on what do you call it, Zillow, a little bit ago. Let me see if I can get that back. They're really nice apartments, really. I just remember how to get there from before. So here's the units, and you know, here's a sample of what they look like inside. Kind of really artsy, you know, graphic design type person. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm talking about? Yeah. And you know, he drove that red car, and they haven't been able to find him or the red car. Now these rent, or they're sold for, I just lost the page, but it was something like $200,000 to, you know, it wasn't horribly expensive, but still. Now they're 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. We see you gray? What does that mean? I don't get it. Yeah, he seems like, to me, even when I saw him walking, he seemed like, you know, not some low-life, creepy kind of guy. He seemed like he just had, you know, he had that sort of that wool, long, dark coat on, usually artsy, higher-end type dresser. And then you look at this place that he lived, and it seems like that fits the look that he had. And I don't know if that's, I mean, again, I don't know for sure that that's actually where he lived. That's the only person with that name living in Rhode Island, though, that I could find. It says junior on this one, and he's a third, so obviously he's a junior of maybe his dad, so I don't know if he lists himself differently. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This might not be, but it does seem to fit. All right. And so there's the vehicle that he was driving as well. All right, so they have it up here. Louis, I don't know if it's Louis or Louis, okay? Louis D. Coleman III, 32. And also, if you look at what I was looking at earlier, let's see if I can find that again. It says right here in his 30s. Right there, age 30s, Louis D. Coleman Jr., and it's also Providence, Rhode Island. There isn't a lot of people that live in Rhode Island. It's tiny. Okay? So I think this is going to be the right guy. The odds of it not being him are pretty low. And it also shows that he lived in California at one time, and I did find another person that had a similar, you know, you kind of wonder, I mean, if he has roots in California, did he just take off and, you know, go drive straight there? Who knows? I mean, again, isn't that about as far away as you can get? You're from California, then you go to Rhode Island. That's literally the furthest possible spot in the United States to move from. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, sorry about that, Iron Cowgirl. Just sometimes the time goes by, you know, and then I see a comment, and I don't remember what I've said 10 minutes ago. All right. And then Audra sent me an Instagram sort of update on her, where it has a bunch of different clips. So again, look at this. Right here it says 5'3" to 5'4", right? Boston Police Department right here says she's 5'7", right there. Look at this. Who is approximately 5'7". Well, which one is it, everybody? Okay, I'm going to go with what the police department are saying now. If they say she's 5'7", let's go with that. All right? Although she looks 5'3" to me. That's the thing. So, you know, this whole thing is, you know, just put out the accurate information. Just one time, all right? It was reported missing. She was. Let me turn down this music. Must be late over there in Australia at this point. I don't know. I haven't. I can't. I didn't look them up for a record. It looked like there might have been on this thing that I was looking at earlier, but I haven't been able to. I don't have access to things like that. One of the things that's not that great of news here is that it looks like they're looking around in these dumpsters like there's a crime scene or something. I know, and we're going to find you soon. Let's see. It says crime scene in Providence connected to missing Boston woman. So they're calling it a crime scene. So that's not good. So it could be that they've already found her. I don't know. Or they found a place where it looked like she was attacked, or maybe they found clothing of hers and they're, you know, considering that a crime scene. Let's see. Okay, this is just sent over here by Audris. That looks like the same. Let's just look at this. That looks like the same apartment, I think. Let me just... Could be. Let me look around this side, though. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see. Has the same, like a brick color, but... Yeah, it didn't seem to look just like that. Let me see what this is. Walks into the apartment building, and yeah, that's where I got it. 95 Chestnut Street, right here. Look, 95 Chestnut Street. So that is the apartment. Boom, as they say. All right. Providence police have gone to a downtown apartment building at 95 Chestnut Street in connection with the disappearance of a woman in Boston. The Boston police said earlier they were looking for a Providence man wanted in the disappearance of a 23-year-old woman after she left a nightclub. Police described Louis D. Coleman III, 32, as a suspect in the kidnapping of Jassy Correia, I guess is how they actually pronounce it, who disappeared after leaving the venue nightclub early Sunday. Sharon Steele, who lives in the Chestnut Street building said she first saw police when she left the building at about 10 a.m. This is very unusual for the area, said Steele, who is president of the Jewelry District Association. Never, 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 she said, when asked if anything like this had ever happened. Correia was seen in the area of 255 Tremont Street in the company of an unknown man. Yeah, so let's see, I think we have that on here. 255. Right. So right after you see him on surveillance, he must have ran into her and started walking with her. And if you look, he was heading this direction down the street. And if you walk that direction, it ends up walking, going over this, staying on Tremont. And then a car was seen, that red car that we looked at, was driving, or parked or something right here. I actually think he was probably parked over in this area. And she got into the car, and then he drove this direction. Let's see if that makes sense. Because Rhode Island isn't anywhere near. I mean, it's way up there compared to where. Let's see. Let me get that on a map. So actually that makes total sense. I thought it was actually north, but I guess I just got that wrong. Look at, I think I was thinking of Maine, sorry. So Rhode Island. Look at that. So that driving direction, so he's right here at the Venue nightclub, right? And it's heading this direction, and you see the car driving in this direction, which is in the direction of where he lives. See? Because he lives right down in this area. So I think it was pretty, good idea for them to actually check at his place because he was heading that way. But I mean, it doesn't mean a ton. There's such a huge, vast area there. He could have gone anywhere. But he was heading in that last shot. You see him in the red car. He's headed this direction, right? So he could have, got on a freeway at some point and then ended up heading down towards where he lives right there. All right. And just for people that are just seeing this for the first time, she was at the club venue right here with some friends and apparently got in a fight with one of the friends and lost her shoes. So the friend that gave him a ride picked up the shoes and her gifts because it was her birthday and all that kind of stuff. So it wouldn't get, because there was a big fight going on. And then somehow they all got separated. That's the part that's confusing to me. They all got separated. And the friend that gave him a ride, Penelope, drove to the other friend's apartment where Correia was at when they were picked up by Penelope. And she drove over there to drop off all the stuff. Maybe she thought that Correia was going to be there. And while there, the other friend shows up, being dropped off by an officer. And both of them had no clue where Correia was. And it seems like they were just irresponsible, lost track of their friend. And then she was somehow walking down the street, and then a predator, perhaps, we don't know everything at this point. This guy came up behind, it looks like, because you don't see her with, she's not with him in the surveillance footage. And then he maybe came up and said, hey, I can give you a ride, give her a ride. And then you see the car driving by in that one surveillance shot. And then after that, we don't have a clue where she went. All right? Correia had visited the nightclub before that night. She got into an argument with a friend of a friend, and the friends split up and left her. See, that's crazy, right? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Okay, let's do that. Victoria Master of Boston said her friend Correia had gone out with other friends on Saturday night to celebrate her upcoming 23rd birthday. Correia had left her 2-year-old daughter with the girl's grandmother and went out for the night, Maestra said. Correia had visited the nightclub before, but that night she got into an argument with a friend of a friend, and the friends split up and left her, Maestra said. That's just ludicrous on her birthday. They realized something was wrong when Correia didn't pick up her daughter on Sunday and didn't respond to anyone's calls or text messages. You mean you weren't alarmed when she wasn't at the house of the friend when you got there with the shoes? Correia didn't go to her job as a host at Del Frisco Double Eagle Steakhouse in Boston Seaport either, she said. Nobody heard from her, Maestra said. The last time anyone heard from her was when her friends left her. Maestra was putting up missing person flyers in Boston when she heard about police searching for Coleman. I didn't recognize the guy, she said. Although her friend is petite, she's strong, Maestra said. She may be light, but she's a fighter. I'm just praying. Well, that's why a guy like that would wait for someone to be really drunk. I'm just praying that she comes home and she's safe, Maestra said. Police said Coleman was believed to be operating a red car. He was last seen in Providence area Thursday, police said. Anyone with information about Coleman, Correia, or the red car should contact 911 immediately, Boston police said. Correia, who was about 5'7", now we're back to that again, was wearing hoop earrings, an orange jumpsuit, and jean jacket with an image of red lips and pink wings on the back, Boston police said. All right. Yes, this is kind of you live on the 6th floor of this building right here. Well, they know who the guy is, though, Kraft said, at this point. They already haven't caught him, but they know who the suspect is, so the license plate probably doesn't matter at this point. Although, if you're trying to identify him out in the public, I guess it sort of seems like they don't know if that's his car or not, right? Because they would already have a license plate. Once they've identified him, they should be able to say, he's driving a red Nissan, license plate, blah, 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 blah. Right. But see, they weren't able to do that. Yeah, they haven't given out the license plate number. Yeah, could be a rental, could have stolen it, could have borrowed it. Wouldn't that be weird if this guy turns out to be... See, the thing is, if this is a random killer, these people, this isn't the first time. You know what I mean? Like, if he has no connection to the person. See, a lot of times when you have rapes and murders, it's somebody who knows the person, and then you can just immediately say, okay. Right? But if they don't know the person, then you're looking at like a serial type person. We don't know anything about this guy, but what a great little hiding lifestyle that is, right? He could just be a totally innocent guy, right? Maybe somebody that she contacted before, and she called him and said, hey, can you pick me up? And they took off together. But that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, why wouldn't you get in touch with somebody? What about your kid? I don't believe that at all. I think he took her and something happened to her. I hope they find the car, though. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's his car, though, or they would have already had the license number. They're trying to figure out who the owner of the... Even after they found him, they're still trying to find out information about the car, which is weird if it's his. Nothing wrong with being petite. All right. I see a lot of you saying you're frustrated. Yeah, let's see what this person said. Thanks, Candy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kim Kalunian here. We're live in Providence. We're in the Jewelry District at a apartment complex at 95 Chestnut Street, where you can see there is some crime scene tape as police investigate what we're told is a connection
Let's see if I can find that
an
building.
alleged kidnapping out of Boston. Here's what we know. Detectives just confirmed to us a short time ago that they are investigating Louis Coleman, who is believed to live in this building. He is the suspect in an alleged kidnapping that occurred in Boston of a 23-year-old woman, Jassy Correia. Now, Coleman, who's 32 years old, was last seen here in Providence on Thursday, and we have seen detectives coming in and out of this building. As you can see, there is some crime scene tape here in front of this garbage dumpster area of this building at 95 Chestnut Street. Now, we did just a short time ago speak with a resident of this building who tells us that their landlord, their building manager, sent out an email to all of them telling them to go about their normal business as police conducted this investigation, which again, detectives confirmed to us is connected to Louis Coleman, the Providence man who is considered a suspect in the kidnapping, the alleged kidnapping of a 23-year-old woman out of Boston, Jassy Coleman. So we are awaiting more details at this point, but we are here live on scene, and we will be bringing you more coverage tonight online as it happens, and of course on Eyewitness News starting live at 5. We'll see you then.
Yeah, I mean, this is the building at 95 Chestnut right here. It just looks like it looks a little different, you know. It's interesting. Maybe they built, you know, right here there could be a building now, and maybe they would still call that 95 Chestnut. I don't know. I don't know when the street view is. Let's see, 95 Chestnut. Okay. So let's try this on Google Maps, see what happens. Let me get rid of this 602 here. Right, okay. Alright, so this is August 2017 right here. And they actually have one from 2007 as well. And May 2011. And August 2017 is the most recent one. Which isn't that long ago, but I don't know. This is definitely the address, so if you go on Google Earth and type in 95 Chestnut Street, it goes right on this building. We just might not have the right angle that they're looking at. All right, let's see. Jules just put this one in there.
Some breaking news and some big developments here. Boston police say that a Providence, Rhode Island crime scene is connected to a missing woman case out of Boston. And 7's John Coco has been gathering some information. He's live down there in Providence, Rhode Island with the latest on what we know. Where are you in Providence right now, John?
So, Chris, right now we're on Clifford Street in Providence, and I confirmed with the Providence Police Department that they are here investigating, and it's related to this case. Now, I can show you here directly behind me. You can see that yellow tape right there. That's blocking off an area where there's a dumpster. That area has crime scene tape.
Oh, I see.
In front of it, that's one area. And then if you take a look over this way as well, this is a construction area. That construction area has some crime scene tape in it as well. Providence Police couldn't say much more than what I told you earlier, that they are here, they're investigating, and it's related to this case. If you take a look down this sidewalk here, you can see what looks to be some detectives here. They've been going in and out of this building since we've been here. We've been here for maybe about an hour, 45 minutes at this point. So right now, still figuring things out. There's a fluid situation, still trying to see what exactly is happening here. But again, we now know that that suspect is from Providence, and here we are in Providence with police investigating some areas here. Construction area. That construction area has some crime as well. This is a construction area. That construction area has some crime scene tape in it as well. Construction area. That construction area. That
Okay, hold on. I could see it said Center for Science and something on that video. Center for Science and... yeah, it's a little bit too... I know you got Kraft set in the background. Oh, I gotta get it, gotta get it. Center for Science. No, that's not going to be it. Yeah, let me see if I can just see it, since we know where his house is here. A lot of construction going on around here, though, for sure. So they said they were on Clifford Street, right? Yeah, this is Clifford right there. Alright, so let's just go down, up and down Clifford. Oh boy. Jesus. See, they've done a lot of changing of the streets around there. Like, this is way a long time ago, and it's totally different. Look at that. It's a freaking highway back there. Like, and you just... like, that wasn't even there. You see that? It's wild.
over this way as well. This is
Yes, I'm still here, everybody. Still here. Maybe he moved. But it says 95 Clifford Street, yeah? So, definitely, this is the building. No doubt about it. A lot of construction going on. Just like they were saying.
$4,000 is what we're selling.
Down there in Providence, Rhode Island, with the latest on what we know. Where are you in Providence right now, John?
So, Chris, right now we're on Clifford Street in Providence, and I confirmed with the Providence Police Department that they are here investigating, and it's related to this case. Now, I can show you here directly behind me. You can see that yellow tape right there. That's blocking off an area where there's a dumpster. That area has crime scene tape. In front of it, that's one area, and then if you take a look over this way as well, this is a construction area. That construction area has some crime scene tape in it as well. Providence Police couldn't say much more than what I told you earlier, that they are here, they're investigating, and it's related to this case. If you take a look down this sidewalk here, you can see what looks to be some detectives here. They've been going in and out of this building since we've been here. To be some detectives here. More than what I told you earlier, that they are here, they're investigating, and it's related to this case. If you take a look down this sidewalk here, you can see what looks to be some detectives here. They've been going in and out of this building since we've been here. We've been here for maybe about an hour, 45 minutes at this point. So right now, still figuring things out. There's a fluid situation, still trying to see what exactly is happening here. But again, we now know that that suspect is from Providence, and here we are in Providence with police investigating some areas here around Clifford Street.
John, we still have you here with us as we take a look. This is some video from Sky 7 HD from earlier of the scene where John is right on the ground. I understand, I don't remember exactly what you said. Are you near a university there in Providence?
Yeah, I think that we're near the Johnson & Wales campus. Again, we have seen a number of detectives here. They've been coming in and out of a parking lot here. Yeah, I think that we're near the Johnson & Wales campus. Again, we have seen a number of detectives here. They've been coming in and out of a parking lot here. And there's a Boston police officer right over here. And it appears that a Boston police officer is just arriving here on scene as well. But again, these detectives from Providence, from what we could see, coming in and out of one of these parking lots where the construction site was, and they were bringing evidence bags with them. So again, we don't know what the site was, and they were bringing evidence bags with them. So again, we don't know exactly what we have here, other than the fact that Providence Police have confirmed that this is related to this investigation. And again, it appears that a Boston officer is just arriving here on scene as well. Excuse me, a Boston
that was my email talking to myself
here on scene. So there's a lot of moving parts.
Great, check your email.
I can tell you that. We're going to keep you up to date as much as.
All right, just a second. Yeah, you could see them. It looked like they were definitely grabbing individual items out of that dumpster.
Exactly what you said. Are you near a university
right
there in
like,
Providence?
It looks like he grabs a piece of paper, like a receipt, hands it to that guy, and he puts it in the
Wales
bag.
campus. Again, we have seen a number of detectives here. They've been coming in and out of a parking lot here. And there's a Boston police officer right over here. And it appears that a Boston police...
Okay, hold on a second. So you kind of wonder, like, there's a bunch of construction going on, and maybe this is an area where they built it up, but you can't see it now on that. But there's also construction here too, right? Look how crazy that is. Like, that's what it looked like back in 2007, but now you go like this and it doesn't look like that at all. It's like a completely renovated, changed. It said he's on, what street did they, Chestnut, right? Yeah. This street right here. Wow. I just, every time I do that, it's crazy. This says Friendship Street, which is weird because when you go to Google Earth, yeah, it's Chestnut Street. See, if you go back a little bit to the freeway over here, or actually right in this area, that says Friendship Street, and then it becomes Clifford Street, and then this one says Friendship Street also, but I don't think that's right, because that's definitely, well, I guess Chestnut's this direction, so let's try that. So it's 95 Chestnut Street, so let's go down this street. I think that's where I was having a problem. Hey, isn't that what we were just looking for a minute ago? Hold on.
Chris, right now we're on Clifford Street in Providence, and I confirmed with the Providence Police Department that they are here investigating, and it's related to this case. Now, I can show you here directly behind me. You can see that yellow tape right there. That's blocking off. That's one construction area, has some crime scene tape this way as well. This is a construction area. That construction area has some crime scene tape in it as well.
Right? Well, it's got to be the same building then, right? So if you're looking at that, let's just see how that was viewed in that video.
That's one area, and then if you take a look over this way as well, this is a...
Yeah, so there's like a gray building. Yeah, that looks like it. I'm kind of thinking that's what they're looking at. And so he's actually looking at it from down this street right here. Let's see what street that is. It's Friendship Street, Chestnut, but it might be, let's just go about right here and sort of look back, see if that looks similar. Because that's definitely, it looks like that's what they're seeing in the background, is that center right there. So let's see, what streets are these? Pine, Chestnut. No, before I lose that, hold on. Let me go back over there. See, that wasn't even built. See that? When this map was made right here, that building wasn't even there. So that's where we get a lot of problems. Alright, so that we know where that is. The science building. He lived here. So it's very close to that science building. However, they seem to be looking back at it a different direction. And it's hard to tell with this damn Google Earth because it's so old that none of these buildings were made back then. Thank you. Hey, great. Check your email.
Love your work, Gray winking face.
Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate it. Very cool. The car was located? Let's see. No, I don't see it. We already talked about that. All right, let me look at this again. So you got this building with the 4 windows and that one. Can we see that when we're down here? I don't see that right there. I'm going to put this on my other screen so I can look at both at the same time. Definitely. Let me go around the other side. Yeah, it's just trying to find the... Oh, they caught him? Cool. It wasn't in that article, though. That was posted just then. Where'd they catch him? Ah, crap. So you can't go... See, like this, look what this looked like before. It was a freeway. See that? See that? And then boom. Like you go back a little bit and that's not there anymore. So they could have even built more after this. It doesn't look like it was fully built at this time. And I don't even know if Street View's recent enough to get exactly where. Let's see. But this is definitely that building. It has similar type. You know, everything's similar. The bricks on the building and everything. It all looks the same. All right, let's see it. Right. You keep putting this post up here, but where does it say that they caught him? I mean, right at the beginning it says, okay, it says located up here, but this whole article says be on the lookout for. So just the headline there? Okay, so maybe they say it. Let's listen.
Boston police now say a woman who's been missing since last weekend
Why don't they just make a new article?
And they've just released a picture of the suspect. Let's get right over to WBZ's Cheryl Fiandaca with the very...
Get it. Jeez. Okay, investigators said Coleman of Providence, Rhode Island, kidnapped 23-year-old Jassy Correia early Sunday morning. It is not clear where Coleman was located or if Correia has been found. Coleman is a systems engineer for Raytheon. See? High-end kind of guy. The company said in a statement to WBZ TV that is fully cooperating with police. So I guess they do have him. And they're checking dumpsters, so that's not a good sign at that point. Correia was last seen leaving Venue nightclub in the theater district where she's been celebrating her birthday last Saturday night. Police released photo of Coleman Thursday saying they were searching for him, Correia, and a red car that was believed to be he was believed to be using. They said Coleman was last seen in Providence Thursday morning. Detectives were searching his apartment building on Chestnut Street in the afternoon. Boston police say Correia left the club with a man now identified as Coleman just after midnight. So was she walking in front of him in that image? After midnight. A short time later, she was spotted getting into a cab with him, or car, excuse me, getting into a car with him in the area of Tremont and Herald Street. Correia's cousin told WBZ TV Thursday that friends and family do not recognize him. Correia, who lives in Lynn, didn't show up to pick up her 2-year-old daughter Sunday, and she didn't answer any phone calls or text messages. And now this one says she was approximately 5'3". Jesus. Okay, cool. So they've located him, and the fact that after locating him, they're looking into dumpsters isn't a good thing. All right.
The construction area. That construction area has some crime scene tape in it as well. Providence police couldn't say much more than what I told you earlier, that they are here, they're investigating, and it's related to this case. If you take a look down this sidewalk here, you can see what looks to be some early that they are here, they're investigating, and it's related to this case. If you take a look down this sidewalk here, you
Is that maybe that says Chestnut there. NU something. Kind of see a C there. Yeah, or let's see. Okay. Kind of makes you think that, see how it says Chestnut right there? Let's see if that kind of, hold on. And he was on Clifford Street. So that's Chestnut. He's on Clifford, so that's right there. Let me go back to that. So there's no tree next to it, it just looks like that. So let's see these. There's a building with the those windows going up like that. Let's see if we can see that. Okay, that's it. That's it. So right here, see these windows? Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, like that. And he's standing, I think that's where he is in that video. Hold on. So he's looking at that. I think that's what these are, I think. Let me just check one more. Yep, same building here too. See that? The windows, window bricks in the middle. And see that? Right there. And then those three. So he is around a corner. He's standing right here. Oh, no. And then I think now that looks right back at that science building. There you go. There's the sign that, okay. Everything just fell into place right there. There we go. Boom. All right. So now we're going to be able to say here in a second about where they're checking. All right. So let me put a pin on the ground here. Finally. Jesus. So there's that little sign that was science center or whatever the hell it said, center of science and whatever, right there, right? And there's the even up here, I was looking for those earlier. So all of that makes sense now. Watch. So he's going that way now. He's going to turn back his other direction.
What looks to be some detective Providence with police investigating some area, maybe about an hour, 45 minutes at this point.
Panning back to him.
Right now, still figuring things out. There's a fluid situation, still trying to see what exactly is happening here. But again, we now know that that suspect is from Providence, and here we are in Providence with police investigating some areas here around Clifford Street.
John, we still have you here with us as we take a look. This is some video from Sky 7 HD from earlier of the scene where John is right on the ground. I understand, I don't remember exactly what you said. Are you near a university there in Providence?
Yeah, I think that we're near the Johnson & Wales campus. Again, we have seen a number of detectives here. They've been coming in and out of a parking lot here. And there's a Boston police officer right over here. And it appears that a Boston...
So he's like kind of standing in this area.
Police officer is just arriving here on scene as well. But again, these detectives from Providence, from what we could see, coming in and out of one of these parking lots where the construction site was, and they were bringing evidence bags with them. So again, we don't know exactly what we have here, other than the fact that Providence police have confirmed that this is related to this. And then if you take a look over this way as
okay, see that right there? That's exactly this shot right here. So just keep a visual picture of that. That's right there. See that? So that guy's standing right here. This is, see the little smokestacks up there, and then just everything like that. So just take a look. See? So if they're checking some dumpsters over here, that means there's some more construction going on just right back there. But this isn't, this is a different time. This is what Kelly just put up there. Law enforcement sources, Lewis, Coleman 3 is in custody, caught in Delaware, wanted in disappearance. Ah, wow. So he was on the run, basically. Sources say suspect was seen carrying the missing woman into the apartment building on video surveillance, then later leaves with 2 suitcases. Oh boy. Did he cut? I hope he didn't cut her up or something. The woman is not seen leaving the building and was not found inside the apartment. Oh boy. Jesus. That's not good. You know, he's probably one of those introverted sort of, you know, sociopathic types. You know, he just cleverly thought, okay, if I just chop her up, I'll put her into suitcases. You know, I hope that's not what he did. Maybe he packed to leave, but where did she go? Maybe she was in one suitcase and he packed some of his stuff up in another. All right. All right, I just said that, yeah. Yeah. All right, well, I think that's the update for now. So it sounds like they've arrested him. They've arrested Louis Coleman III. He was in Delaware. He is the last person to see Jassy Correia at that bar, and it was... I guess he was seen with her there, so I don't know if that surveillance footage is at a different time or not. And apparently she got into his car, and well, it said 12:15, so she must have been walking ahead of him, and they took that out of the surveillance. And you know, maybe they were talking in the bar, and then she left, but he kind of slowly followed from behind, and eventually, when he found a spot that was a little bit more secluded, caught up to her and said, "Hey, you need a ride?" And got her into his car, drove her to his place. He's seen going into his apartment with her, and then she hasn't been seen since. I don't know if they found the red vehicle at this point. Maybe they have. I think they might have. I don't know, but they've arrested him and have been checking dumpsters since that. So that's not good news. And he was seen taking suitcases out. So if he took suitcases out and she's in one of the suitcases, she's not going to be in one of the dumpsters. I wouldn't imagine. That'd be pretty stupid to put her in a dumpster right next to his apartment building. But like we've seen, there's a lot of stupid criminals out there, but this guy is like an engineer, so you'd think he'd have a little bit more common sense than to do something like that. So throughout the day, we'll probably be getting more updates. I'm sure we'll cover it later this evening. So I'm going to get off now. I've got some work to do. Took an early lunch here. And thank you to Hort James and Amanda for your super chats. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys later in the evening. Thank you for showing up. And until next time, everybody, be safe out there.